Most people think loneliness happens because someone is awkward, boring, or socially weak. So that's a comforting thought, because it keeps the real, uncomfortable truth at a distance. But psychology tells a different story. Some people end up alone not because they've failed socially, but because of how their mind works. And once you understand these patterns, you might just stop blaming yourself. Let's start with the first pattern. Some people don't live in social moments, they monitor them. While everyone else is laughing and engaging, they're busy analyzing everything: the tone of voice, facial expressions, pauses, and searching for hidden meanings. Psychologists call this continuous self-monitoring. It can feel like an intelligent way to navigate social situations, but in reality, it creates distance. Connection requires presence. When your mind is busy watching the interaction from the outside instead of actually participating in it, your body becomes tense, controlled, and unreadable to others. People don't necessarily feel rejected by you, just feel kept out. You're not being cold, you're mentally overloaded. Next, have you ever felt like you can instantly sense when someone's behavior isn't real? The forced jokes, the fake interest, the emotional exaggeration. Psychology links this to having high authenticity, sensitivity. You just can't bring yourself to pretend you're enthusiastic about something you're not. You can't fake agreement just to keep the peace. Can't put on an emotional performance just to feel like you belong. But this comes at a cost. So much of modern social life is built on performance. When you refuse to play along, it can make others feel exposed or uncomfortable, not because you're judging them, but because you're not participating in the act. So they label you as quiet, distant, or hard to read. It's not because you lack warmth, but because you refuse to dilute it. Here's another key idea. Most friendships thrive on emotional exchange. Reassurance, venting, validation, needing each other. But some people regulate their emotions internally. They don't overshare their problems. They don't ask for help easily. They don't emotionally lean on others for support. Psychology calls this self-contained emotional regulation. It's a sign of strength, but it also removes the entry points for connection. When people don't feel needed by you, they often slowly disengage. It's not out of dislike, but because they don't see a role for themselves to play in your life. You didn't actively push them away. You just didn't leave the door open for them to come in. Then there are the minds that simply resist blending in. They don't automatically follow trends. They don't adopt group opinions just for the sake of harmony. They don't laugh just because everyone else is laughing. This trait is known as low conformity orientation. It leads to originality, honesty, and independence. But it can also block the path to bonding. Groups often form closeness through sameness and shared behaviors. When you don't mirror the group, you remain psychologically on the outside. Might be respected, but you're not fully absorbed into the fold. Finally, some people feel things very deeply. They just do it privately. They process their emotions internally, logically, and quietly. Psychology connects this to restricted emotional signaling. You care a lot, but you don't express it in a fast, loud, or dramatic way. By the time you're ready to show warmth or react, the moment has already passed. Others might misinterpret this and assume you're indifferent, when in reality, you're just emotionally delayed in your expression. Most people don't lose friends all at once. They lose them microscopically, bit by bit. A slightly slower text reply, a little less visible emotion, a quiet refusal to pretend, a habit of standing alone instead of blending in with the crowd. Over time, the social world interprets this precision and thoughtfulness as distance. It's not because you're flawed, but because you don't operate on emotional noise. Loneliness doesn't always mean something is wrong with you. Sometimes it just means your mind values truth over comfort, depth over performance, and clarity over a false sense of belonging. You don't need to become louder, faker, or smaller to fit in. But you do need to understand how your own psychology shapes your connections. Because once you do, you stop asking, why don't I fit in? You start realizing, not every environment is built for your kind of mind. If you're looking for psychology that explains, not just inspires, you're in the right place. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more.